Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. In this week's video I've got another great laser cut project for you guys, because we're going to create a multi-layered wooden kids puzzle. Let me show you what I mean. This is the one I created. It's 2 layers deep, so the top layer is 6mm plywood, the bottom is 3mm plywood, and if you put it together you can take out these little pieces and you need to put it back in the correct position, of course. As you can see, this is 6mm thick. It's a really fun project to do. I really like the end result. If you want to know how I did it, watch till the end, because I will show you all the steps from cutting the plywood to engraving the pieces, cutting out the pieces, rounding over the edges using my router table. Of course you can customize it to whatever you like. I've created this one for someone I know. I want to give it as a present, but you can of course change it to your liking. It's great fun to do, maybe create for your kids, your grandkids, or maybe sell it in your store. It's up to you. If you like it, let me know, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and we can start with the first step, is cutting all the plywood to size. So for this project I'm using 6mm plywood. This is poplar. Most projects I do on the laser I'm using 3mm plywood, but for this project I need 6. So I will be cutting it to size. I will make it 31 by 31 centimeters. And I will also cut out one piece out of 3mm plywood, exactly the same size. And once everything is engraved and cut out on the laser, I will glue this one on the bottom. It will be the backer of this project. So first I will cut everything to size, and then we can start on the laser. So let me do a quick sand over to get rid of all these sharp edges. It will be cut out anyway using the laser, but just to make sure. So next up we'll get to the laser and we can start loading the design in LightBurn, and then we can start cutting and engraving. So for this project I'm using the Toocaa L2. This is the machine behind me. This is a 20-watt laser. It's a class 1, so it's fully enclosed. And because I'm using 6mm plywood and I mainly use 3mm plywood, I did do some test cuts up front. So I created all these little cubes to see what the best settings will be. And I came to 750 millimeters a minute at 70%. So I lowered the power, but I did 5 passes. And you can see I created all these little cubes. And what I was looking for is the edge of the plywood. Hopefully I can focus. You can see that the top and the bottom are nice and brown, and in the middle it's a little bit darker. So this is the best setting I could have, because even though it's dark, when you rub it, it will not rub off on your fingers. So that's the best settings I could get with this 20-watt laser. I also did do some engraving. So you can see I did some engravings with air assist on, with air assist off, and also some different depths to see what the color would be. And so this is the right setting that I've got now. Also this one, to check for the color, I did do a little piece of the project to see what it would look like, and also the feeling of the depth. So next up we'll go into LightBurn, because this project has got a lot of engraving and also cutting. So it's a nice mix of both. So I will show you the settings and also the design and the way I approached it, and then we can start engraving and cutting. So let's have a look at the design in LightBurn. The project of the day is a kids puzzle. So it's a wooden puzzle where you can take out all these objects, and you need to find the correct location and put it back. Also, if you're a little bit older, you can learn the words, of course. So I think it's really fun to do. This is the original file. It's in English. The one I'm creating, I've translated the words into Dutch, because I will give it to someone I know and he's Dutch. But it's the same principle, of course. As you can see, it's got different layers. So it's got some engraving, also cutting. Let me see. All these parts will be engraved. The outer lines, and you've got the cut line. That's a double line. It will be cut double because you need to have a little bit of space in between, so you can easily put it back and take it out. And these holes, they are for the fingers, so they can use the finger to pull out the little piece. I think it's fun. I hope you also like it. This one will be cut out first, and then after this one I will do the backer. So that's the 3mm plywood, and this one is the 6mm plywood. That's why I want to do it 6mm, so you really have got a nice puzzle piece when you take it out. And it's yeah, it's a little bit thicker than the 3mm. Let me see. I already set all the speeds and power settings. As I mentioned before, I did do some testing up front, and I came to these settings. The cutting will be done at 750 millimeters a minute, 70%, 5 passes. And the engraving will be done at 6000 millimeters a minute at 80% for the text. The other engraving will be done at 9500 at 80%. So I did do the testing, and I came to these settings. Some of these colors will be gone because I will remove the original one, and I will only have left the red one, I think, the brown one, and green, and this I think will stay on, and the rest will be gone. Let me show you. If I remove this part, the original file, and delete it, you can see, oh, okay, this is the ones I've got left, and these are for my file. Let me move my window a little bit. So here you can see the puzzle with the red text, so that's in Dutch. So first I'm gonna engrave all the text, then I will engrave, let me do it like this, then I will engrave all these the little objects. Once this is done, we will do the cutting of the outer lines, and then this is the name of the person I'm creating this for. So I will cut it out, and then I can put it on the top of the puzzle. The green line, I did a very thin line, so it will only engrave, even though it's a line, because it's only 40% at 5000 millimeters a minute. So this is just so I got a little line on there, and I know where to put the letters, which I will cut once this is all ready. I will cut out the letters separately, and I can glue them on this spot. So once this is all done, I will also cut out the backer, and then we can glue it together. I do also want to do some roundover on the router table to make the edges a little bit nicer once it's ready. But I will show you this later in the video. So first I think we can start with the cutting of the puzzle, and once this is ready, then we can go to the next step, to the router table. So let's have a look at the design. It's now engraving all the words. In total it will take about 1 hour and 14 minutes. Let me show you inside the cabinet. As you can see, all the words are finished. Now he starts with the objects, engraving all the objects. Once this is done, we can cut everything out. So let's have a look. As you can see, we have about 45 minutes left. Let me show you. As you can see, most of the engraving is done. He's now working on the top row, the last objects, and then it needs to be cut out. That will take some time because I need to do 5 passes, because this is 6mm plywood. But once that is done, I can do the backer and the name, and then we can glue everything together. So let's do a little update. As you can see, it's almost 30 minutes left. He's now cutting out all the objects. Let me zoom in a little bit. as you can see, let me focus. He already cut out the motorcycle. He's now working on the bicycle. The cut seems to be very nice. No charring. And the object comes out really clean, as far as I can see. So that all seems to be working out fine. I really need to have the 5 passes, because otherwise it will not come out. And once the object is cut out, he will do another 5 passes for the outer perimeter. So that creates a little gap between the object itself and the board, so you can easily take it out and put it back in. Otherwise it might be too tight. And also that creates the hole for the finger. As you can see over there, hopefully you can see, over there you can see the little hole for your finger. So I will let it continue, and once this is ready, we can go to the next step, cutting out the backer. So let me give you another update. We have about 12.5 minutes left. Let me show you where he is. Most of the objects are cut out. He's now working on the car, the race car, and then we still need to do the balloon and the train, and then we're done. So we're almost there. So we have about 2 minutes to go. He is now cutting the outer lines. Once this is done, I will take everything out. Oh no, we still need to do the name of the person. So this will also be lightly engraved, so I know the correct position. And once that is done, then we can take out all the pieces. Check them, if needed some cleanup, but I think most of the edges will be fine. And then we can cut the backer. So as you can see, all the parts seem to have dropped, so everything came loose. That's exactly what I wanted, so it worked out fine. So the first part of the cutting and engraving is ready. Let me open the cabinet so you can have a look inside. As you can see, it came out really nice. Only a little bit of cleanup, but I can easily remove that. All the parts came out nice. You can see here, you can see the name. As I explained, it's only a light engraving, so I know exactly where to position the letters once it's cut out. I will take everything out, and then I can start with cutting the backer. So let me remove the outer part. As you can see, it came loose pretty easy, and hopefully you can see it, but the edge of the plywood is still nice and brown, so it's not burned. So the settings worked out great. I can take out all the pieces. As you can see, they're nice and cut. So this is the top of the puzzle, and then we have all the pieces that need to be taken out and put back in. So I will take it out and then put on the backer, cut that out, and then we can glue everything together. And I also need to cut out the name. So I have put on the second sheet of plywood. Let me do the framing, see if everything will fit nicely on there. So everything fits nice. Let me check. This will take 3 minutes. I have left the speed and power the same. So it's 750 millimeters a minute at 70%, but I will only do 2 passes for this one. Let me start and then see if everything works out. So it will start cutting out the backer. Once this is ready, I can glue it together and then continue from there. So the backer is also ready. Let me take it out. Let me remove the outer ring. Oh, small part here is not cut. I can clean it up with a knife. I think it has to do with the glue maybe inside of the layers. So as you can see here and here, it's not fully cut. I can clean it up, and then the rest of the edge looks very nice, so that's good. Now I only need to cut out the name, and then we are ready. So I have put on the name. I have left the speed the same, so still 750 millimeters a minute at 70%. I've done the framing, so I can start cutting. And he will cut out the letters. Not sure, maybe I will paint the letters. Not sure yet. I need to see what it will be. Maybe I'll leave it as is. Maybe I will make it a little bit darker or maybe colorful. I don't know. This will only take a minute and 20 seconds, so 40 seconds left, and then this is ready. And it's ready. Let me open the enclosure so we can take it out. You can push out the letters like this. Clean it up a little bit. And then it's ready. Again, the sides came out nice, so no charring. So I will take it to the puzzle and then we can glue it together. So let's have a look at the puzzle. As you can see here, you got the little engraving, and now I can exactly position the name, the letters, on each of the engravings, so it will be straight, and I can glue it in place. Again, I'm not sure if I will color this or leave it as is. And then you can see the puzzle. You can easily take out the pieces and put them back in. The backer I will glue to the top, so it will be one piece. I will clean everything up. If there's a little bit of zut, I will clean it up. And then you can easily take it out and put them back in. That's why there's a little bit of wiggling room. If it were too tight, you cannot pull it with your finger. So needs to be able to take it out and put it back. So I've cleaned up the top using 400 grit sandpaper, doing some light passes. All the little brown spots are gone, so it looks nice and neat. Next up, I'm gonna glue this one onto the backer. I will be using regular wood glue, like I always do. Apply it using a foam roller, and I want to do some light passes. I want to minimize the squeeze out onto the sides of the puzzle. I can easily clean it up, but I want to prevent that. So let me put on some glue. And I will be using my trusty old vise, this one, to use as some weight when it's glued. Let me do like this. Let me roll it on and then apply some more glue. So we have enough on there. Like this. You don't want to do this side because you have all these openings, so use the one which has the openings. Oh, not sure if you can see it, but it will be shiny whenever you've got glue on there. So I think that's okay. Let me put it onto the backer. Little piece left, I see. Then we need to align it so it's exactly aligned. like this. Now I will put some weight on it. Like so. And then put this on there. This thing weighs about, I don't know, 10-12 kilos. So that will help. I will have it glued, and I will leave it like this for a couple of hours, and then once it's all glued and ready, I can continue with the rest. I will clean up the letters as well, and then I can glue these on. So a little change I made along the way is this. Initially I wanted to do the letters like this, so just regular plain 3mm plywood, but I didn't like it. It didn't pop out, it didn't do it for me. So I scrapped the idea and I did the same letters, but now I engraved them, and I think it looks much better. It really pops out now. It gives a nice contrast between the puzzle and the name, and I think it's a really good improvement. So tell me what you think. Which one do you prefer? But for me it's a clear winner, the engraved ones. So let me show you another fun aspect of the name. Because we are working with wood, you have to deal with certain conditions like the grain, or maybe with plywood, how it's glued. So I did the name several times, because the first one I didn't like this part. You can see, because of the grain, this one is a little bit lighter than the rest. So I said, no, let's do it again. I did it again, and I had the same issue, but only on these two letters now. So again, I don't need it. Third time, these two were okay, but then you can see on the M, this one's a little bit wider. It has some, so I didn't like this one as well, so I also scrapped this one, and then eventually I settled for this one. I think this one is the best. So yeah, sometimes you need to do it several times because of nature, I guess. But yeah, eventually I think it turned out nice. So now that this part of the puzzle is ready, I am happy with the letters. I will glue this on using some super glue. And then finally I want to do a round over on all the edges of the puzzle, on both the top and the bottom side. It just gives a better feel to the touch when the little guy is playing with the puzzle. I'm going to use a 3mm roundover bit. This one's got a bearing on it, so it just will follow the contour of the puzzle. I will use my router table for this, which I will show you in a minute. And then once that is done, I think we are ready with the project. So let's get to the router table to get this done, and then I will show you the final end result. Let me show you my router setup. This is a Bosch table saw, and I created this inlay. I put it in, and I created a lift from wood for my router, so I can just lower and raise my router using a hex key from the top. That makes it pretty convenient. I've also created these little inserts with magnets, so they just pop in, and I can use different sizes. So if I have a small bit, a larger bit, I can just pop in whatever I need, and it will be held in place by the magnets. I've used a little edge router like this one. This one is from Akita, but I used a different brand underneath my table. These are nice little routers. And I also created this. I can put this on the fence of my table saw and just connect it here, and then on the back there's an opening for my vacuum, so I can just put it in and then remove all the dust when using the router table. So next up I will put in the bit, and then I will start doing the edges. So the router bit is in. I did set the depth already. I've got an emergency stop underneath, so I will release it. And I will turn on the router. Then we can do the edges. So hopefully you can see it. You can see there's a nice edge. So yeah, I think we're done. So that's it for this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me show you the end result up close. I think it turned out really nice. I really like the color of the name. It really sticks out, it pops out against the color of the poplar. I did have some issues with this one, like I explained in my video. Let me show you again. Initially I wanted to do the letters like this. I want to leave it like yeah, the color of the 3mm plywood, but I didn't like it. It didn't pop out, it didn't do it for me. So I decided to do the engraving, and that turned out really nice, except the wood turned against me. And on this eye I had a little color difference. It's because of the grain of the wood. Of course it's a natural product. So I did it again, I had the same result. Then I did it a third time, and the first two letters were okay, but now the M turned out a little bit light. So again, I also didn't like that. Yeah, that's just me. I want to have it correct. So on the fourth try, I got it correct, and I used these letters. And I think it really makes a difference. It really stands out against this color. So I like it a lot. I hope the little guy also likes it when I give it to him. If you want to build this one yourself again, watch the whole video. I will explain in great detail how you can create this one. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, let me know. Give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I hope to see you in the next week's video for another new project. Bye bye.